welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be making this high split skirt. If you like what you see, please stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Alright, let's get right into it. Using a weight 3 yarn, a 4.25 millimeter hook, scissors, and we're going to start off with a slip knot. So I'm going to teach you how to make the waistband. So first we are going to chain up 11. And then we're going to go in to the first chain from the hook and go crochet. So we're going to single crochet all the way down. Alright, so now we're at the end. We're going to place our last single crochet in our last chain, and then we're going to chain up one, turn our work, and we'll be working in the back loops. So in the first back loop, not where the chain one is coming out of, but the stitch beside it. In the back loop, we're going to place a single crochet, and then we're going to work the single crochet all the way down, and you're going to see where we're going to work it all the way down to. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the stitch that I see. See, I'm pulling on it. That's where you're going to put your last single crochet. It's kind of hidden. Find it and place it there. This is what's going to keep your work straight. So now we're going to chain one, turn our work, and again, working through the back loops only, all the way down. And now we're coming up on the end, near the end actually, so we're going to place a single crochet in that stitch, and you can see how it's not completely done yet. So we're going to find the very last stitch. It's going to be hidden, kind of turned. You're going to want to force your hook in there, pull it up, and place your last single crochet right in there. It's important to do that if you want to keep this waistband from slanting and going straight, and that's the way I do it. So chain one, back loops only, and make sure you get that last stitch that kind of is curved, kind of turned, doesn't really look like a stitch. Find it, get it, place a single crochet, and you're going to work this until you have the length of your waistband -2. I always do -2 inches because the yarn stretches a lot and I want to make sure that it fits tight. So I am a 30 measured on the waist, and I will crochet a 28-inch waist belt for my 30-inch waist. Alright, so we're going to keep doing that, and I'll meet you guys back when we are done with that. Alright, so now we're going to single crochet all the way down. So we're going to put our two ends together, make sure they're facing in the right direction, and we are going to single crochet all the way down. I start off my connection with a slip stitch, and then I single crochet my way all the way down the rest of the waistband. I like to work the opposite end so that my tail is facing in the direction where I'm going to be single crocheting the majority of the skirt, just so I can tuck in my tail, guys. We tucking in those tails all crochet season long, period. So here we are, single crocheting all the way down, okay? When we're done, chain up 2, and now we're gonna place a double crochet in almost every space. Some people usually say like put 2 single crochets in the space, but I don't know, it doesn't really work out for me, so I just feel and go. There's no rhyme or rhythm to how I do this. I just place the double crochets, you know, beside each other so that there's no gaps or spaces, and that's why I make my waistband 2 inches smaller so that I can pack in the stitches and have no gaps, and it will stretch to fit. But that's what we're gonna do. We're going to double crochet all the way around until we get to the end. Alright, so now we're coming up on the end. We're placing our last double crochet in our last visible stitch. It might look like there might be a gap, but the first single crochet is coming out of that space, so that's where we don't want to put another double crochet because I'll make it 2. Then we're going to join with a slip stitch, chain up 2, and turn our work. This is how we keep the seam straight. You have to turn your work. If you don't turn your work, you know, the seam is going to go crooked. Now we're going to place it in the first double crochet and double crochet all the way down. So we're going to do this until row 4, and then on row 4 we are going to increase. I'm going to show you guys how I increased for this pattern. Again, we see that the double crochet is coming out of another stitch, so we are going to slip stitch into our first stitch just like that, chain 2, turn our work, and work all the way back around again. All right, see you guys at row 4. Alright, so now we are at row 4. I do this with every pattern. This is how I increase with every single pattern. I count 10 stitches, and in the 11th stitch I put 2 double crochet. It doesn't even matter what size you are, I just do it like this. It works for me. It's probably not the best rhyme or reason to do it, but it works for me. It works for the sizes that I increased. So I'll do 3 regular rows, and on the 4th row double crochet 10 stitches down, and in the 11th stitch I put 2 double crochets. So here we are working our 10. And here we are placing 2 double crochets in the 11th stitch. Alright, so that's how row 4 is going to go. 10 stitches, 11 stitch double crochet. Then row 5, 6, and 7 are going to be normal, and then 8 we're going to increase again. So we're going to do that, but we're going to start the split very soon. So finish your row, then come back. So for the fourth row, we're going to follow this pattern of 10 and then 2 double crochets. Then we're going to fasten off at the end of our work to start the slit. So we're coming up at the end of our work. Again, you see the double crochet is coming out of the previous double crochet. So we have to slip stitch like that. Keeps the line very straight. All right. So now we are going to snip it off. We're going to cut our work. You know what it do. Fasten off. Pull through. All right, now we're going to flip it over to the front. So we're going to flip it over to the front because this is where the slit is going to start. So first, you're going to make sure that your sides are even. And I fold it to make sure the sides are even. You can count, but nah, that's not what we're going to do here. We are going to find the seam in the back, put it in the middle, fold over our work. Just make sure it's even, just like that. All right. You can count the stitches. You can actually make sure it's even to the exact, stitch. But we're not going to do that. So I counted 17 stitches over from the edge, and that's where we are going to reattach our work, then work our way all the way back around until we have one space left. One real space, not like a double crochet coming out of another, like one real space left. And that is how we will begin our slit. All right, so reattach your yarn, crochet normally, crochet all the way back down around until you have one space left. All right, when you get to the knot in the back where we fastened off the previous row, make sure you force a stitch in there because you don't want a hole. You never want a hole, even if it's really tight. Just force a stitch in there and keep it moving, because if you don't put a stitch in there and you skip it, there will be a hole. So we have now worked our way around till we have 2 stitches left, you see, we're going to place our last double crochet right there and leave that last stitch empty. We want to leave it empty. This is our slit. All right, so I chained 2 and I decreased, made my slit a little bit bigger than I wanted, but if you don't want to do this, don't do this. So we're going to decrease like I've been showing you on my channel. Check out my other videos. Insert, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, insert into the next stitch, pull through 2, pull through all 3. That is how I decrease. So I'm going to decrease in the beginning, and then I'm going to decrease on the end. All right, so then I'm going to work this stitch. I'm going to work this pattern all the way down as normal till I get to the end. All right, here we are coming up almost at the end. Put our last double crochet there. So now we're going to decrease again. Wrap the yarn, pull through 2, wrap the yarn again, insert into your chain 2, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through all 3. Then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and we're going to insert in chain 2 is coming out of, but in the stitch beside it, we're going to do a normal stitch. So when we work this one all the way down, we are going to put our last stitch in our chain 2 space, just like I'm showing you. Okay? So now I'm showing you what it's gonna start to look like. It's gonna look like this. All right, and on row 8, we're gonna increase. So we increase on row 4, row 8, row 12, row 16, and row 20. And this is how we're going, and it's this, we're doing the increase the same way. Chain 2, turn your work, insert your double crochet there. That counts as 1 stitch. We're going to crochet 10 stitches down. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 11 double crochet, and that's how we're going to increase on the rows following, just like that. After you do those increases, you are going to do normal rows like I showed you until you get the length of the skirt that you want. So after you do normal rows until you get the length that you want, you have a beautiful skirt, baby. A beautiful one, okay? Added some clips of me closing up the slit. This is how it's gonna look. If you guys like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. Tell me what you want to see next. And I hope you guys vibe with me, okay? Bye.